Despite being one of the best cartoons show in the world, Bluey still has to deal with some censorship. Sometimes there are some scenes that are too much, and some scenes aren't too much, but Disney simply doesn't like it. So in today's video, we're going to check out scenes that were changed or censored in Bluey. In the episode Omelette, a scene where Bingo cracks an egg with her head was edited out, because Disney thought it was promoting harmful actions. This censorship is kind of understandable, because kids might learn to crack eggs using their head, which might cause injuries. Now, this next censorship is a funny one. In the episode Family Reunion, Bandit is accused of farting in Bluey's face. After the incident, the family's dining table is turned into a courtroom, and a trial begins in which Chili is the judge, Bandit is the accused, and Bluey and Bingo are the witnesses. But apparently, for Disney, farts aren't funny, so they deleted the entire episode. Yes, you heard it correctly. Disney deleted an entire episode just because of some farts. Now, this next one isn't censorship, but just a slight change. Initially, the episode Hospitals had a slight misspelling. Initially, the title card of the episode spelled Hospitals instead of Hospital. So, it was later corrected. In the episode Stories, all the poop mentions were changed to boogers. It seems like Disney really doesn't like poop. Talking about poop in the episode The Package Game, everyone is celebrating Muffin's birthday, and it was here that we saw the adorable pony dressed as a unicorn again. But the unicorn wasn't always quite adorable, as we see in the other episodes, because in some shots, we can see him with a pile of poo right behind him. And apparently, of course, Disney didn't like this joke, so they decided to scrap those poo shots, not only in the United States version, but also in the Spanish version. I don't see how this scene could affect the whole episode so much, and why Disney took it too seriously. In the episode Driving, Bluey and Chili are playing, and in one scene of this episode, Bluey and Chili are talking, in quotes, with a stuffed cat named Agatha, who in Bluey's portrayal is an old and grumpy cat threatening to pee on the curtains if she doesn't get her almond milk soon. But it seems that this dialogue sounded very inappropriate to Disney, and they changed Agatha's threat from peeing on the curtains to scratching the curtains. In the original version of the episode Trains, Bluey pretends to give Bandit a piece of poop as a ticket, and Bandit pretended to lick the ticket. But in the US version, the piece of poop was changed to a slug. This change is actually one I agree with, since this is quite gross, even if it was all pretend. In the US version of the episode Mr. Monkey Jocks, the dialogue Chili says to Bandit,
"Come here, lover boy."
And for some odd reason, Disney didn't like this, and this was changed to
"Come here, sweetheart."
And in the same episode, the line "He's gone crazy" was changed to "He's gone bananas."
Gone bananas!
Moving on to the next censorship, and this happens in the episode Facey Talk. In this episode, Bluey and Bingo are excited to do Facey Talk with Muffin and Socks, and while Muffin is running away with the tablet, we caught a glimpse of Trixie sitting in the bathroom doing her business. And apparently, this scene seemed too strong for Disney as well, because in the USA version of Bluey, this scene could not be seen. They decided to zoom in Muffin's face so that Trixie couldn't be seen in the background. I don't think this scene was disturbing enough for censorship. Now, this next censorship might be one of the most well-known censorships in Bluey. In the episode Dad Baby, Bluey, Bingo, and Bandit are playing a game of pretend. And in the game, Bandit is pretending to give birth to Bingo. But Disney wasn't the biggest fan of this game, and they decided to remove the entire episode because they thought this episode wasn't appropriate for the viewers. This episode cannot be found on any platform except YouTube, because Ludo Studios released the entire episode on YouTube. Now, this censorship is even crazier. The ABC Kids channel originally aired the episode Mini Bluey, which shows Bluey and Bingo dressing up to scare their dad. Bingo puts on a large set of dentures and tapes her nose shut to look a little bit scary. But the Disney version of this episode simply cut the scene where Bluey tells Bingo that she looked crazy. The sisters seem to be enjoying the idea of scaring their dad, but it seems that Disney didn't like Bluey calling Bingo crazy and decided to delete the scene. Let's be honest here, crazy isn't even that crazy of a word to be censored. Now, this might be the one of the few censorships that makes some sense. In the United Kingdom, an episode that had a scene deleted was Horsey Rides. Interestingly, it had no issues in other countries. In this episode, Muffin and her family visits Bluey's house. The controversy arises in the scene where Muffin shows her new sandals to her cousins. So far, everything seems normal, right? The problem is that in Australia, they often call sandals thongs. In many countries, this word refers to a piece of intimate clothing, but in Australia, it refers to flip-flops or the sandals. That's quite unusual, isn't it? Surprisingly, in the United States, they kept the dialogue, but the United Kingdom decided to completely delete the scene. Wouldn't it have been easier to just change the name to sandals or flip-flops? Now, this censor I'm about to show you guys doesn't make any sense. In the episode Chores, Bandit tries to show off his cool dance moves to Chili, and while performing the move, he ends up hurting his groin, which makes Chili laugh. When Bandit challenges Chili to do the dance, she spins and falls while trying to imitate Bandit's steps. Despite being a bit out of shape, they seem to be having a lot of fun. For some reason, Disney cut this scene. Maybe they thought viewers might try to imitate Bandit's special spin and end up getting hurt. But to me, this censor makes no sense. Moving on, this next censorship can be found in the episode Early Baby. In the UK release, the red cross on Bluey's hat and on the sign has changed to purple because of the Red Cross organization having sole rights to use the red cross. This censorship has more to do with the legal issues. In the episode Teasing, the healers are playing a fun game where they are pretending to be cave dogs and teasing each other by saying the word ooga booga. But at some point, both versions were taken off Disney+. The episodes were changed on TV to say shooby-dooa instead. This was changed because the words were deemed offensive to Indigenous Australians, which seems quite a valid reason for it. Now, this censorship we're going to show you wasn't censored by Disney, but by Ludo Studios themselves. In the episode Exercise, at the beginning, we could see Bandit brushing his teeth in the bathroom, and suddenly he decided to weigh himself, and he squeezed his stomach, giving us, of course, the impression that he has gained a few calories and added a few pounds to his weight. The problem was that this scene received many complaints from parents, demanding that these scenes be eliminated from the episode or the entirety of the season because it might give children a bad outlook and idea about their body. So, Ludo Studios decided to cut the segment where Bandit weighs himself. Because of this, Exercise is the only Bluey episode that is less than 7 minutes. Now, personally, I think this censorship was a bit extreme. Moving on, in the original version of the episode Barbecue, all the characters call peppers capsicums, because peppers are called capsicum pretty much all over the world except US. So in the US version, it was changed to peppers. This change kind of makes sense because a lot of Americans don't know the word capsicum. So these were some of the scenes in Bluey that were changed or censored. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, we'll catch you all in the next video.